Vacation after weight loss surgery isn't just about what goes in the suitcase, but it's also about what's going on in your head. I'm realizing that my biggest challenge isn't what I'm going to be packing for my snacks, it's just learning to trust myself. So we're going on a vacation a week from today, and I'm having a lot of thoughts about it, and I wanted to kind of go over some different parts of that. So there is a fear of gaining weight, although I feel like I have a plan in place that'll help me not do that. I think there's always going to be a fear of that, just because that's always been an issue when vacation comes along, when holidays come along. But I feel like I'm approaching it this differently, and I'm not going into this with this idea of it's a free-for-all, I worry about the family barbecue. I worry about like what I'm going to eat, what everybody's bringing, how am I going to manage that. I want to enjoy family time, and I don't want to focus on the food, but I have to focus on the food enough to make sure I'm at least trying to hit all of my goals. And I want to go into this giving myself grace, but not excuses, and trying to balance that. And again, I just want to learn to trust myself, because I want to believe and I want to trust that vacation doesn't have to mean food chaos for me. It's not a free-for-all. It's not a license to just do whatever, because I don't want to build a life where I'm living for vacations, or I'm living for Friday even. Like, living for the weekends and all of that kind of thing. Like, I don't want a lifestyle that is built on I have to restart when I come back from vacation or come back from the weekend. I want to have balance. I had a really good conversation with my nutritionist yesterday about all of this, just kind of how I want to approach all of this. And I'm very thankful that we had that conversation. I kind of had thought about it ahead of time, but having someone to bounce all of that off of was really helpful for me. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm not worried about it, because that would be ridiculous, because that's not true, because I've never gone on vacation after bariatric surgery. I've never had to. I've been learning to maneuver my life around my own family that I'm living with on a day-to-day basis. But when I go home, I'm going to be with my parents, and then we're going to go to a barbecue, and then we're going to be hanging out with the rest of my family a little bit. And I have to be a little bit flexible, but I also have to make sure I have boundaries, and just trying to go through all of my concerns with that. But just knowing that I've learned a lot in the last 5 months, that I can bring with me, and that I can that'll help me make better decisions. So when it comes to my food game plan, I've mentioned in another video that we are going to be staying with my parents, and that's going to be awesome. It'll make things a lot easier. We won't be staying in a hotel or anything, so we don't have to worry about like tiny fridges and all the things. We'll be staying in one place. We will have access to the fridge and the freezer and water and all the things, so that'll make things easier. I've been working with my mom on menus. We actually had a conversation about it last night, about what we want to do, what she kind of wants to make, what we want to have on hand. And we don't have like a full like menu plan yet at this point, but we kind of have a general idea of what we need to have on hand. I'm kind of working on putting together a list of foods that we generally have at our house. I've even been going on Walmart.com to see what they have available there in my hometown. It's a small hometown, so so there isn't a lot of options as far as groceries. I think they do pretty well for having options in, at the different grocery stores, but it's still a small town, so there's things that we have here that they don't have there. Plus they have different brands there than we have here. But we've been talking about all of those things. So I feel good. I feel good that we've at least had the conversation, and then over the next few days I can kind of go and adjust the food list that I've created. I created a little note in the notes app and then shared that with her and with my husband so he can see it too, but just so she can kind of see what I'm thinking as far as food and things we're going to be doing. And I was like, we don't have to lock ourselves into, like, if we want to have tacos on, Thursday night, but that's the plan, but then we decide we want to have something else that Thursday night, we can do that, but just kind of having a general idea of that is going to be really helpful. And obviously we can always go to the store if we need to. It's not a big town, so we can go to Walmart or the local grocery store and get something if we need. Having protein foods available and keeping things really simple, and just being like, maybe every day we pick a breakfast that each of us want. We have those things on hand and we just don't deviate from that for the 5 days we're there, because it's only 5 days. If we were doing like a month trip or something like that, then we want a little variety. But it's like, if we just decide, every day this is what we're having for breakfast, I think that's going to be just having that for one meal is going to be super helpful. And then obviously just trying to remember that I have the 3 pillars: protein, fiber, hydration. Repeat. Protein, fiber, hydration are like the things I need to remember all the time. Again, I'm not going into vacation with this idea of like, I'm going to hit every single macro all the time. I have to. It's like, if I get close, I'm going to be fine. It's not the end of the world. It's only a few days, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to try. So, and I think the other part of it too is being flexible. I need to get better about like when we're eating somewhere or we're going somewhere or we're eating with other people, that I try to prepare ahead of time, maybe have some protein ahead of time, have some fiber ahead of time, or make up for it afterwards, but not panic about the meal because that's where my brain goes. Like, if we go somewhere and I haven't had enough protein, then I'm like, oh my goodness, do you think they're gonna have chicken? I don't know. So I don't want that to be my life. So this is going to be a great opportunity for me to work on that. But yeah, so vacation. I think one of the biggest parts of this is I'm not trying to have the perfect vacation. I'm also not trying to have a vacation where I'm escaping from my life. This isn't a free-for-all where I'm going to go and do whatever I want. The calories don't count. The macros don't count. I'm not going to go into it like that. I'm trying to have a vacation that fits the life that I'm building. I'm trying to have weeks and weekends and weeknights and just a general life that fits what the picture of my life, the picture of my life that I want. I don't want to go into this with the wrong attitude, because I feel like that can set me up for weight gain, which would be really disappointing after losing a bunch of weight. If I do my very best, my very, very best, and try to hit all the macros and drink the water and track things as best I can, and I come back and I've gained a pound, I think that's still a success. Because as long as I'm taking the action, I think that's where it is. That's where my success lies. And then it'll probably show up on the following. But I don't want to go into this like, I'm going to have several cookies. I'm going to, screw fiber. I'm just going to eat whatever I want. I'm going to have chips. I'm going to have whatever. I want to enjoy food. I definitely plan on enjoying food while I'm there. But the most important thing is I want to enjoy my family. I haven't been home for a long time. That's my main goal for this trip. Since I haven't been on a trip for a long time, I haven't traveled for a long time, I think this trip is going to teach me something bigger than how I eat on vacation. Like, how I eat on vacation is good. I think that's positive, but I'm bringing a lot of what I've already learned about how I want to eat on a daily basis with me on vacation. I think this trip is going to teach me whether I can trust the habits I've been building or not. And I think I can. I've been working really hard on that, and I think I can. So I'm gonna go into vacation with confidence, and I'm thankful I have support from my husband and my parents, and I'm really excited that a week from today I will be hugging my parents. Hi guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I appreciate it so much. I would love to hear from you. Please comment below, like, comment, share, do all the YouTube-y things. Supports the channel, and I really appreciate that. And I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.